and reps that much into the late game. So we haven't been treated to that much crypto scouting, but maybe we'll get a little bit in this game here, especially as you have so much open ground, and anyone who's holding these buildings is going to want to know what kind of routes they might be able to take. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Well, those drones ain't going to come from TSM because they are out of there. They are wiped out. Third team to go. That actually came from Solafide. Again, Solafide does not respect TSM, and I'm here for it. I'm all about that. You know, let him know. Let him know who you is. I like that.
It is a tough result for TSM, as once again we talked about so many games to play. However, in 13th place now, and so often we see that they do create a very difficult hill to climb for themselves, and many times they do indeed end up climbing said hill, but we'll have to see after match 6 to find out what their story will be, because now all the focus will be here, of course, on the rest of this game, and it's going to be a very different type of zone. If you think about what we just saw at Swamps, there's a lot of buildings to grab. You have to think about the available real estate at Hydro as well as Labs. And I mean, Swamps, the highest concentration of buildings without a doubt. You have the exact opposite here in game number 6. You have a giant open desert with a few buildings in the middle. So you're not going to see teams claiming all this external real estate. You're going to see some really hard edge fights that are going to determine this. And here we are at Capes.
Yeah, kind of like what we're witnessing right now. Sentinels now looking to get into the action here. Team's going to pop that bubble up ahead. They don't have an angle to apply some shots there, but Peach slides on down, does get the crack. They know that they have the opportunity in front of them. It's going to be Wraith One Tricks just staying alive, and it's Team holding the fort down for Zenial and Sauceror, which they do manage to bail out of there, and their team's going to have to run out too, because that Gibraltar ult forces him out of that coverage. No time to be able to use that battery because he's going to take some damage there. Sentinels now on the prowl. Peach needs to be careful, though. He is going to be so weak. He has to back up and try and heal up as fast as he possibly can so he can get back into a fighting position. Losing that Gibraltar will definitely hurt them a lot. Wraith One Tricks, despite the fact that they were running away from this one, it's going to be Sentinels that are actually going to be bailing out of this fight, Brav, and Wraith One Tricks will get closer to that edge.
What a great fight between these two. I mean, this is back and forth. As you just saw that tug-of-war battle, we saw Teen opening up with great wing shots. Senox answers back right away with some wing shots of his own, and really great kind of back and forth between these two teams. You don't always see such a clean opportunity, especially when you start to head to open parts of the map like there, like Golden Sands, but we got to see some really good back and forth kind of jousting between those two as we stay on board with Sentinels.
Yeah, and given as well that Wraith One Tricks, they were going to be in that area where they were just on high ground, but they weren't really all that covered. And then as well, I think it was going to be Zenial and Sauceror. They were all just had no shields, so they needed to be able to battery up as fast as they could. And the tables have certainly turned on this one, Brav. Sentinels are going to be the one being chased now, as they'll take coverage inside of this building. Job done. At least they got inside. They weren't able to get any KP out of it, but hey, they're still going to be able to fight in this game. Now, Team Liquid, your winners of game 5, they are going to be without Casper here.
Yeah, I'm glad that our observers got to go ahead and switch over to Runoff, because I think everyone was probably curious exactly what was happening at Runoff. We know this is still included, and we know that things will be moving even further southeast away from it, but there's no doubt that an area like Runoff is going to be a big part of this, and Rogue actually on the forest side, all the way just off of Westworld, actually trying to make their move past Runoff and see exactly what they can do here. As a reminder, Rogue, your number 1 team right now after 5 games.
Rogue had a slow start. They were running the Revenant Crypto composition. I saw Snipedown talking about it on Twitter. I think they just realized it wasn't really working out for them, so they went with something that was a bit more traditional, more their taste. Solafide have had ups and downs as well. Another team is going to be inside and located at the room on the opposite end of this one, and they have no idea. Oh, so much damage done onto Matt Pickett and company. Oh my word, it is a massacre inside of that room, and Solafide just have them dead to rights, and they will take all of those points.
Clarify with the beautiful 99 spray opener. You saw how much damage he did, and his teammates did not hesitate. They flew right back in to pick up those points. And another surgical fight, but take a look at this Petty Boss actually getting the down on Pride.
Indeed, a very, very petty play there from the boss man. He wanted to just down Pride as soon as he could. I don't know if did he get the kill confirmation? Not too sure.
Looked like he was just down. Curious if we're going to see the rest of the team TP. You can kind of see him sitting on that. Not exactly sure, but don't have time to worry about that because we got to see what aim assist does through this exchange. As we said, moving through this open ground, especially trying to move north here, is going to be so difficult.
Designful with that alternator hemlock combination, lots of damage being output and aim assist. Even though they're taking shots from the left, they do manage to get a few kills there. Well done by them, and they'll just bail out of this, get coverage, and battery back up for another fight. 303 Esports. Sorry, that was actually going to be MVP.
MVP, yeah.
I think they lost one player. Not sure who that was. It switched before I can get a look at it.
I believe it was Vax this time. Yes, they lost Vax, and apologies, of course, that the team label in-game in the OBS client is labeled as 303, but you guys know this is MVP. Of course, taking a look here, we also did see, you might have caught it in the kill feed just now, we did see Sentinels out as well. They're going to be our 5th team to go out, so MVP finds themselves in a 2-player scenario once again, still in 2nd place, but as we said, lots to play for here in that 3-way tie, and these next 2 games here are really going to be a deciding factor. Excuse me, these next 3 games are going to be a deciding factor in terms of who pulls away out of that gridlock tie.
Getting some fried Watson here. Murdog runs right into the loving hands of a Pathfinder down low, and it's Casper from Team Liquid, and Rakinishu will be there to help his buddy out. Some more shots are being exchanged out. Murdog, oh man, that was just the end of Max Dog. Team Liquid, they made them pay for taking out their colleague, Casper, and they'll take all that loot for that effort.
Absolutely. They lose Casper there, but now they're going to be having to make that move. And as we said, not surprised to see so many teams still playing runoff south compared to the other available parts on the map. It's undoubtedly the most cover for now. That will soon change, but we head all the way south into kind of where Golden Sands meets High Desert now.
And it's aim assists out here, waiting and camping on this port in case anyone decides they want to come back in. Designful jumps in, gentrifying as well. Oh, very bold play from him. Look at that alternator do work. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. Oh boy, but Designful, he tried to grapple out of there, and while that was going on, ended up dying or getting downed in that one. Great one tricks have an opportunity in front of them, but are they going to take this? No, because they're very weak. They need time to be able to heal up.
These 2 teams still going at it here as they've had to make that move, and it was a really good, like you said, alt play from that. I believe it was not just a purple mag, excuse me, but also a purple stabilizer to melt that Gibby. That was going to be Saucer on the end of that melt, but both of them will decide to disengage once again. A lot of these teams showing each other respect as we see a few more teams here, TPH as well, removed from the game, but back on board with Liquid. We saw them lose Casper earlier. We'll see what they can do here as they still have to make a pretty big move. They're still just the tiniest bit east of runoff, and they have a big move south across open ground. They're first trying to get some poke damage first to try to make that route a little bit easier.
Flanker from the safety of up on top here along with the Kraber continues to harass that Watson.
It looks like a Kraber, but it's a Sentinel.
Sorry, a Sentinel. My bad. I apologize. Sentinel.
I can't blame you. On a fast look, it certainly looked, and to be honest, it was hitting hard as well as we go back here.
If it was a Kraber, he would have been dead, though.
That's true. That's true. That thing would have hit real hard as we go back on board with Solafide. This is trouble for Pride.
Yeah, Pride, no stranger to situations like this in the past. Lest we forget, Pride was the one that gave Solafide that 3rd place finish on World's Edge with the radius of plays, just staying alive as long as he could. And so Solafide have had a decent run thus far. We see a lot of activity around them too, and there's not much opportunity for them to get into the fray. That bubble's going to be down to protect that team that is currently being Gibraltar ulted from up on high. There's a team located around them too, and actually NRG, they're going to go inside of this room and they're going to go for the fight now. That's going to be the kill onto Mercy only. Rocker really banged up, but they got those downs. They picked up a few kills there, and hey, job well done.
Rocker holding his ground. Yeah, holding his ground with that Mastiff so well. You saw how much damage he just did. He's going to kind of just edge around here, try to figure out exactly where he might want to get his heels off, but huge play there from Rocker as he's just going to play this edge. I think we saw at least 2 cells in the inventory, so he'll get back into this in just a bit, but great stuff from him.
An overall opportunity, and if he does heal, would reveal where he is in case people are going to be around there. They're going to hear the heal. So we have two players left with, or two teams left with one solo player remaining. It is Energy and MVP.
I think that's going to be it for Liquid, as we saw them drop in the tracker there. That'll be Team Liquid who is out. I don't think we caught exactly what their demise looked like, but they'll be out of the game now as we go back on board with Solafide. Just like that, there's 8 squads left, and things pull even further west, away from those actual kind of central high desert buildings.
Yeah, they got a big portal there too, Bravo, into the safe zone. There was a player located right at the other side of that wall. So when they get in there, they're going to get into a fight.
And this is, I was just about to ask, and of course our observing team is one step ahead of me. I wanted to know who's in the single building that is kind of just above airbase, and it is going to be Smile. They have to try to hold this. Thank goodness for them that they do have a Watson. They're going to be able to play this a lot differently than if they didn't, but they're going to try to hold this as best as they can. Now, still 8 squads left, and Smile's going to establish, this is what you got to do. You have to establish a little bit of a bigger perimeter here. They've also got this wall cover, which is going to be huge in giving them just a few more angles to engage from.
Yeah, with the 3 of them inside of that small room, not really going to work out for them. But with one player on the outside playing the corner as well, can get some idea of when players are going to be hanging out around them. Now, watch out for that bubble. It's going to come down in a second. Credit to that player for diving right into this bubble here for Pride. They're going to try and force them out, but oh my word, the ult comes through from the Gibraltar, and now Pride, he had to try and phase out of that one. So many players from SF are going to be down. Look at the shots coming in, and Snipe Down gets himself a few kills in the feed there. As you can see, NRG go down. Solafide is going to be out of the action, and it's going to be Smile inside of this tiny little hut here who managed to get the last lab, at least for the time being.
Absolute carnage, as you saw if you tracked that feed. Smile picking up a lot of that damage, but Rogue also picking up a lot of that. As we talked about, that was kind of the biggest move that we had been waiting for in this game so far. Drop is going to try to grapple out. We'll see if he can live to tell these tales now just with 4 squads left.
I don't know if they're really going to have an opportunity to pick him up, perhaps with all the activity going on down low. Now, Wraith One Tricks have taken over the building that Solafide are underneath. Not Solafide, Smile are underneath. Funny enough, they have no position, Rogue, and because of that, the only thing that was helping them out was that tree blocking a little bit of the vision, but it ain't going to be enough at players at this level of play. They will try and isolate and take advantage. This crater here maybe could be the thing that helps them come back into the fight.
That thermite not going to hit, and they're going to be thanking their lucky stars that neither the arc hits either is Rogue, and they somehow get everyone up and they get heals just thanks to this little bit of terrain. Their opponents know that they are here, but they all get their heals off as well if Snipe Down can get a few cells here as well.
That is massive there, Bravo. They are one of 2 teams with a full roster still in the fight. And on top of which, you know, there are going to be a focus up on high here, the Wraith One Tricks. Rogue's going to jump in, trying to get this KP. Nice shots there from the Mastiff. Now you're going to have Sweet in the action as well. But Snipe Down to nothing. Trying to go in for the melee. But Smile will pick up the scraps at the end. They were the rats down low. I love that play inside of that hut. They were the sole team to take the only hard cover that was available. And they are your champions of match 6.
Yeah, as soon as you saw everything kind of shift away from the high desert central buildings and to, like we said, the single soul shack that is just north of airbase, you probably had a good idea that Smile was in a really good spot. And in the end, they played that perfectly. They timed it well. They didn't panic. Rogue on the aggressive, I like to see that from Rogue. In the end, that push did not pan out for them, but I think they need to keep bringing that confidence and KP-minded playstyle to really kind of dictate the pace and the direction of the battle. They, in the end, lose that one, but they're still going to be pretty happy with the points that they got.